What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm going to be doing another tier list for Operation Siege since a lot of things have changed, but also because I just can't stress enough how good Skull is. This shouldn't be called Skull. Actually, that's just called Skull. Because I'm not even joking when okay, here's some of the changes they've made, and this is the reason why Skull's so much better now. Yes, they removed Skull's hard breaches, but he still has everything else, and now that since attackers can actually control drones while dead, his drones are just so much more powerful to have on the field. That is single-handedly why he's the most powerful and dominant operator in the entire game, in my opinion. Actually, no diff. Now, let me just change this must-have. Mid would recommend. Ignore my spelling, ignore my spelling. Alright, I'll do the rest. And Pat is still really good, but since Skull is way better now, it's alright. Let's talk about some of the new operators. RB is actually, no, but pretty decent. I actually like him a lot, because what he can do, his bombs are actually quite lethal, because I feel like grenades have been, or explosions have been like buffed. His gun's also pretty good. His pretty decent secondary, and the secondary gun is also pretty strong. Well, I want to say he's like a must-have, so I'll leave him there. Another must-have is Asifa due to, again, the new buff for the drones, being able to control them while dead. Making sure that these drones can't get to you in sight and locate and pinpoint where you are is such a necessity. And just in general, the kit's also, pretty decent. I would say Reckon's kind of mid. Maybe I wouldn't recommend. Skull's just way better at everything Reckon does. He can do some good stuff, but it's honestly not worth it in my opinion. Um, Scout's pretty decent. The reason why I don't know if he's a must-have, but the reason why I usually would put him in mid and wouldn't recommend, but lately I feel like his hammer is a lot quieter, and he's so good for bum rushing. So yeah, he's super quick. His gun's pretty good anyway. So yeah, guard is pretty mid. There's no real downsides to guard. It's just that like Asifa offers way more lock. Trapper doesn't offer as much to be honest. But a lot of these operators do offer way more. Like utility wise, and his guns are like alright. So yeah, I think Lord is actually just like dog shit. Um, there's some cases where he's pretty decent. But I just don't think it's really worth. Actually, I'll put him in mid. He's not that garbage because again, I just feel like there's a lot of better things. Like you can have a bulletproof camera that's just better just better. I'd rather have two bulletproof cameras as my ability than have his ability. That's just my opinion though. Breach is pretty decent. He basically has like an extra two, like three abilities, like three gadgets. His shield and his two other utility slots, which is pretty good. And apparently for Master is really good. I think it's alright. I think it's that great. Blitz is actually got to go into must-have. The reason why Blitz is must-have, his guns are already really good, but flashes actually work pretty well now. And I actually get flashed and bent over so much with Blitz, and it's just such a force to be reckoned with. If you see that Blitz grenade going, you gotta like cover your eyes, look the other way, hide in a little corner, run out of the room, something, bro. You're gonna get cooked. I'm gonna say Rebane's pretty decent, or like top of pretty decent. The problem with Rebane is that Asifa is like a must-have. Like if you're running like a comp setup, you will almost always have Asifa. So Rebane is a little bit counter due to that, but they're still really good, I would say. I don't know how lock works to be honest. I think you have to destroy it with like a grenade or like a sledgehammer. If that is true, he's a must-have. But if you can destroy it with like melee attacks, I think it's like a castle barricade. You know what I mean? But I still think he's really good. He does have a really decent weaponry, so I'll say he's a must-have because it helps slow down the attackers. So yeah, Phoenix is pretty decent. His weaponry is pretty good, and I've seen myself a lot more lately. Before I didn't think it was that good, but a lot lately I've seen myself using his heals, so I think it's pretty good. I can't lie. I think Tower's like a must-have. His gas is pretty deadly. Again, it's like smoke in real siege, but if the gas was actually cancerous and immediately actively just murked you, being in this gas is like actual hell. Just don't be in the gas. That simple. Also, I don't know which characters have C4s to be honest, but C4s are also again heavily buffed. I'm pretty sure Pierre has what's it called? Grenades. I put him in pretty decent. I don't think he's like a must-have. I think North is probably a must-have for breaching. paired with Skull. So I'll put him there. I don't know. I think these two are essential for the defense. I think this is essential for offense. Obviously, Scott's you got to have Scott, but you know what I mean. I think Scott the moment of hell is really good. The reason why I think they're really good is because the pulse thing is actually really nice, and it can help you get so many kills. It can give you information you should not have at all, and or again, obviously, if you have hearing like jinxing or whatever the hell, you'll be able to just know without needing this. But this is so, even like sometimes you won't be able to hear them. This is just so good. I really like it. As much as I love Trapper, he's kind of mid. He's kind of mid now. His weaponry is still really good, but his traps are just obvious, man. He can catch. Okay, let's put those there. His traps are just like really easy to avoid, and his weaponry, a lot of operators, like for example, Lock, Moscato Tower, or Phoenix, just like or Ghost, they should have better abilities. Trapper's ability is kinda useless in my opinion. It only works against like clapped players. Salt is pretty decent. I wouldn't say they're that great, but you know, the explosion stuff can really help take out locks. Or again, it's kind of essential to some. Actually, I'll put it in must-have because the grenade is kind of essential in some matchups. For example, if you're in a two like the enemies on the second floor, they can put a shield on a window so you can't get in. And assault is kind of essential to us to remove such a thing. So yeah, that's kind of my new tier list. I still think that the reason why there's no real actually reckon. I might have to put him up. No, I'm just gonna put it like this. I think Reckon isn't that good, but again, every attacker is just so much better now because of the fact that they can control drones while dead. It is so OP. And I think the reason why a lot of people don't do it is because there is no scan assists. I really think if they added scan assists, it would. And by the way, in my opinion, being able to drone while dead is such an amazing addition. Because even after you die on attack, you don't feel completely useless. You know what I mean? It makes it feel way better. I still feel like I'm a bit alive. I'm still a part of the match because I'm able to run around, highlight people, distract people with my drones. And even with your skull, this fact is amplified by like 3 times. Because not only do you have 2 more drones, but these drones make a lot more noise, and they can actually. I've gotten 2 kills with skull drones. I mean, that's obviously they do very minimal damage, but they can still be hella annoying, man. And it can take up so much utility. They're good at being in and out. I mean, it's so OP, and I can't stop glazing skull for the life of me. And yeah, that's basically me the list. Let me know if you'd put anybody else any elsewhere. I mean, I can't. I can see Ghost being essential for the defense, but I don't know. I think they're pretty good. You know, there's a lot of other characters that I say. I mean, to be fair, these aren't really must-haves. Tower isn't a must-have, and neither is Sukoto. Neither is Locke, but I'll put him in top pretty decent. These are like actually essential for the things. And these are for essential for their side. I think that's better because Skull obviously is essential. He's so good at everything. But sometimes I said thought are really essential because they block off certain paths. For example, on a safe house, I can't reiterate this enough. Even Skull can't count what I'm about to tell you. If you go to the tunnel on the safe house in your like basement, you patter it off. You place an Assifer next to the drone hole, but you place it to the left so that the drone cannot shock it without being disabled. Then you barricade it, but before you barricade it, you place another Assifer in the inside of the tunnel behind the barricade so the skull cannot shock it. That is actually OP because it literally guarantees it's impossible to breach tunnel. And the less entries you have, the better because you can just basically tunnel them down. You know what I mean? You can manage to molest them. That's why Safe House is such a good map. Also, Asif has a bulletproof camera. Bulletproof cameras are really good in my opinion. And again, these characters are not essential. Like, these aren't actually essential, but I think these characters are essential. North is essential with Score, in my opinion. They're a really good combo because North's breaching is hella needed. Assault is pretty needed. I want to say Blitz is actually essential. So I'll put him at the top here. But he's still really good. So yeah, that'll be my That'll be my list. These are all pretty decent. I'll probably drop this guy's because he's not that good. You know what I mean? It's just kind of heals. His kit is really good, but you know, everything's kind of done. Yeah, the rest are actually pretty decent here. I do like this list personally. If you have anything you would change, let me know in the comments. And yeah, peace out.